What is up, everyone? If I look like complete crap, it's because I went to Battleslam the other day and I am still a little kind of like energized from it. So, yeah, bell to bell. Amazing show, as always. Bro, Battleslam has the capabilities of being like one of the next big companies in Georgia. All they gotta do is just fill the seats up a little bit. That's all. I'm not even gonna, like they gotta just start like, I don't know, getting out stadiums or something because the show is amazing. It's spectacular. It's like I'm not embellishing. This is really good. Oh boy. So yeah, I finally got my voice back. I was talking like this the other day, so I couldn't do the podcast. So there was that. So yeah, I'm wired. Not wired, but yeah, I'm a little springy. I'm a little spry in my step. Also, I really want to wrestle now, dude. Oh man. Uh, Moving along. All right. Uh, I need the story of Brett Favre. Uh, and the whole Mississippi welfare thing. I need that to kind of be more focused on Mississippi as a whole. Like, I don't know if I mentioned in the last video, but like the fact that Republicans, if I'm not mistaken, are at least a good, if not 90 or 100% um, in control of Mississippi, that I feel like that should just be a thing that we bring up because you got like Republicans out here who basically say, Republicans need to rule everything. They need to be in charge of everything. America's going to get better if the Republicans are in charge of everything. And it's like, look at Mississippi, and it's like, what is a Mississippi? So it's like it's just wild to me specifically how that whole concept is ignored because it's like we have a place that is basically the study guide, so to speak, for this thing. We have a place that literally shows what happens if Republicans are in control, and you don't even talk about this place. You don't even bring this place up. I never heard in my life a Republican say, "I want to go to Mississippi. I want to just live in Mississippi." I never heard that, like in my life ever. As long as I've been like dealing with political people on the internet, I've never heard anyone even like bring up Mississippi. They'll bring up Chicago all day, but Chicago is just where all the black people are. So of course it's gonna be like, see that place where all the black people are at is dangerous. Also, what is a Mississippi? I need somebody to explain that to me. So yeah, there's that. Oh man. Another thing I kind of wanted to bring up was, as mentioned before, I don't respect rich people. I do not. I do not have any love, respect, or care for rich people because now the more I'm starting to learn about them, the more confusing they are to me. Because like as long as I've been alive, there's always been kind of like this push about oh, rich people are rich because they're good with their money, or they're responsible, or they're just remarkably talented businessmen or whatever. And then you find out that all they do is just borrow money. Like, all they do is just borrow money. Like, are you serious right now? That's like because they borrow money and then it gets forgiven, so they don't have to really pay it back until they feel like it. Now, my thing is that like the weirdest thing about that to me is, why would a rich person need a loan for anything? Like if you're rich, you know what I mean. If you're balling like that, you can just buy the thing. You don't even need like an installment plan. You don't need it. It's like somebody Shannon Sharp was like said something along the lines of some people just don't like to spend their own money, which I get that. But those people who don't like to spend their own money shouldn't have as much money as they got. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, we'll spend if you don't want to spend your own money, I'll spend it for you. Like, come on, bro, hook me up. I'm poor. So yeah, that like that it's really just it's crazy to me because not only are rich people borrowing money and technically begging for it, but there's people out there that are actively giving the money to them. Like, to put this in perspective, the same people who's giving these rich people money, the same people who are giving rich people money are the same people who probably wouldn't give me anything. just because of how I look, or because of where I'm from, or how, or like they'll find a way to make it. Okay, that's bothering me. They'll find a way to make it so that denying me anything is just a bit reasonable business decision, while also saying that rich people need the money because they'll do something with it that'll benefit the poor people, which is easily the biggest lie ever, you know. So yeah, it's just like I really feel like this would be a good time for us to just sort of bring up how this is kind of like not only a Mississippi thing, but a Republican thing. Not just a Republican thing, but a rich people thing. Because there's a lot of rich people in Congress right now who are actively kind of trying to do the same thing that, that's going on in Mississippi right now. So I don't know, that in my perspective, like, I'm seriously hoping that this is the beginning of a political revolution that ultimately just sort of just gets rid of the old guard and just changes everything around, because Lord knows we need it. Like, Lord knows we don't need people getting too bummed out and going, well, the person I'm going to vote for ain't going to win anyway, or the person I'm going to vote for is not going to actually change anything. Blah 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 blah. It's like we need less of that, and we need more of, we have to get the bad guys out. Okay. Moving along, I also, as I've said multiple times, I believe that we need to popularize and kind of like normalize the idea of recycling, because it's winter season right now, and it's sunny outside, and I like that. I like that. I don't like cold weather. I don't like cold weather, but I also don't like the idea of stormy winters. I'm pretty sure that is an adult film star's name. Like, I'm not a big fan of, like, cause like the hotter things get, you won't get snow anymore. You'll just end up getting like a bunch of rain, and rain and crazy heat and global warming and all these other things. As if we don't already, like, Puerto Rico is already getting like destroyed right now by hurricanes, which I don't think is fair. I don't think it's right. Like, I know some Puerto Rican people, so it's like, I guess part of, my heart goes out to them, because they're very loving and very caring people. But that's what I'm saying. It's just like, we really should like popularize, or at least like kind of make it like, because everybody got trash. It's like, give us some money so we can actually, give us some money to recycle, and we will recycle. You will see a much cleaner America if you just put in a whole, hey, you got some trash, recycle that stuff. Recycling doesn't even do anything. Yeah, I know, but not recycling is making things worse. So would you rather -100 or 0? And last I checked, 0 is more than -100. Math. Speaking of math, multiplying by 11 is actually a lot easier when you realize that multiplying by 11 is just 10x plus x. So, like, for example, 78 times 11 is 857, because it's 780, which is 10 times 78 plus 78 more. Boom. And then it's just mental math with adding. 857. 10x plus x. That's how you multiply by 11. What else is there? I actually had like a whole thing I was gonna like talk about too. I was gonna put it into my podcast, and then like have some residual stuff from there go on to here. But because I couldn't do my podcast the other day, I really need to start writing these things down, because I had like a whole bunch of stuff I was gonna do here. But yeah, Battleslam was great. Rich people are dumb. And Mississippi should definitely gotta get put to the forefront as to why Republicans should not have as much power as they want to have. I mean, think about this real quick. These are people who truly miss slavery, so they're gonna make it easier for poor people to go to prison so they can bring back slavery. So I mean, do we really want that? Do we really want a nation where the majority of people are put in prison because they don't fit a certain demographic, and the people who do fit the certain demographic is in control of them? That sounds like an Alex Jones type controversy, like a conspiracy. And I'm not trying to push it, but I do want to go ahead and just make it very clear that like we now know who the bad guys are. We now know what the bad guys want. So it's now time for us to stop them. Be sure to get out and vote. Early voting in Georgia takes place on October 17th. Love, peace, and happiness to everyone out there. And, yeah. I turned a whole lot of nothing into something, didn't I?